Hello again. We've been away for a few weeks, but we've got a real cracker of a show to welcome you back. And we've got one or two of that variety coming up. Some really special guests. Nobody more special than the one we have on the show today. Now, I've got to tell you a story to start with. Back in March, now you remember what happened back in March. I was planning a show to commemorate the 45th anniversary of a special goal, an iconic goal. Probably the most iconic goal scored at a Sheffield football ground in the modern era, if you can call 1975 modern. Well, we've got the scorer of that goal, but we thought 6 months on, we'd zoom in on it anyway, even though we missed the anniversary back in March. And guess what? It's another anniversary because it's the 6th anniversary of this show on Sheffield Live TV, which has just celebrated its 6th birthday. And guess what as well? The very first guest I had on a show back in, 2014, was none other than Tony Currie. Tony, things come full circle. Welcome.
Hi, you all right?
Yeah, I'm very well. I hope you are too. It's been a long 6 months, hasn't it? What's your 6 months been like?
Waiting for B&Q to open so to get some paint to do something so we don't get too bored, because we've not been traveling anywhere to see family and stuff like that. So I decided to get some paint and do the downstairs at least. So I've had a month of rest from that because it's a bit severe on the back and the knees.
So you've been doing some painting and decorating. Any other hidden talents that you've discovered to fill the time during this very strange period?
Yeah, I'm an avid telly watcher. No, I watch old films a lot on the telly if I've got now else to do. Hark at that bit of Yorkshire.
You're getting better. You're getting there.
I mean, my Cockney accent's got worse. Got worse since as the years go on, funnily enough. 44 years now in Yorkshire, I still talk like this.
Well, you're talking all right, if I can say that. Yeah, and I'm not, look, I'm a soft southerner by birth as well. But it's great to have you on and there. And we're going to relive a special game in 1975 during the show a little bit later. I've been raiding YouTube to get a couple of clips of a special match, which I'm sure you'll remember. But I know when we chatted a couple of days ago, I said, have you seen this video lately? And you said, yeah, I always put it on when I'll use the words cheesed off. You didn't use those words. So I'm guessing you watched it a lot lately.
Yeah, well, no, I do. If we have anybody round, the wife puts it on, have a look at TC with this. So yeah, I've watched it a lot of times over the last 10 years that I've had this, even longer, probably 20 years that I've had this a compilation of all my little bits that I had on videos for over the years that was put onto a DVD for me. So I watch that now and again when I'm a bit sad.
Well, you're not alone there in watching it. I've watched it a few times in preparation for this show, and we'll all have that treat to come. But more general topics. How much are you enjoying Sheffield United? Because we've not really talked to you since the Blades got back into the top flight. How much are you enjoying Sheffield United being a Premier League club?
Oh, well, what's not to enjoy? It's been a long time coming. I think this is only the 6th season since I left the club in '76. So 6 years in the top flight for Sheffield United, a club like with a history and that of Sheffield United. It's pretty poor, isn't it? That we've only had 6 years in it. But having said that, you've got to earn the right. So nobody's got the right. So it's absolutely fabulous. I've enjoyed every bit of it. As probably most people know, I was a director for a year, and that was absolutely brilliant. Going to away matches, getting treated lovely with the away people in the boardroom and stuff like that. So that was tremendous, and it's just been fantastic watching Chris's team over the last 4 years play the football, play the way they play football, possession football, overlapping, free for all, no fear, and it's just been an absolute pleasure after years of, as Sheffield United people have suffered, its supporters and that. It's been lovely.
Well, the only thing not to enjoy, of course, is that no fans in the stadium, which is something in your lifetime in football you could never, ever have imagined. I mean, just supposing you'd scored some of your special goals and the memorable passes that you made, the moves in an empty stadium. How much gloss would that have taken away?
Yeah, oh well, everything really, because I loved to show the fans what I could do. I couldn't wait to get out and do what I was good at, and as people know, that was my stage, and totally different off the field, but that was my stage, and I just wanted to be the best every game and do my best every game, and yeah, it must be awful. I haven't seen a game yet. I've not been to a match. I've just watched them all on the telly, and I quite enjoy the noise that the telly, the crowd noise is a lot better than probably going to the stadium and just seeing, not having any noise, just hearing the bench shouting and moaning and giving out instructions and stuff like that, and the managers arguing probably and stuff.
It's certainly a new experience in the stadium, and you get to hear stuff that you wouldn't ordinarily do. Although I must say, as somebody privileged to go in, the novelty is really wearing off, and I'm missing the fans more and more, from a spectator and journalism point of view. And is there any reason at all why we can't start welcoming at least some spectators into a ground? Surely we can.
Well, it was going to happen, wasn't it? I think our first game was going to be Fulham, I think, which is not far away, a week or two. But obviously, since all what's gone on in the last couple of weeks, that's been knocked on the head. So, we just got to start again and go from there. It is a shame, but perhaps they can, I put it forward that we could sort of get 8,000. What we have, about 24,000 season ticket holders. If you quarter them up, that's 6. Used to be great at maths. It's 6. four lots of 6. Get 6,000 in each game, and they can be, not in their own seats. Get them just spread out, and that, and everybody gets to see your Man United and Spurs, and everybody, 5 or 6 games of the top people, 5 or 6 games of the middle of the league people, and the bottom teams. So everybody shares out. Not everybody gets your Man Uniteds and Liverpools, and the others only get your Villas and Bournemouth and Watford are gone. But so I put that forward 6 weeks. I don't know how it would work. Somebody else would have to do that, but I just think you could do that. Yeah. You could probably do that. So.
Well, it's more healthy than the current situation where people can sit in a warm room indoors, albeit socially distanced, but indoors, watching a live stream or a video or something. At least you're in the open air.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm on we're on our own here at home, so that's not a problem. But I don't understand the people that want to go out to places where they can all. Not all, but some of them are congregating in this terrible situation the country's in, or the world's in.
Yeah, something we've never seen the like of before, and hopefully we'll never see the like of again. And football's just one of so many industries and walks of life that is affected by this. When it comes to what happens on the field, obviously every football team is suffering the fact that there's no crowd there. So that kind of equals itself out. But do you think there's an argument that Sheffield United have been hit by it more than most because it came at such a special time in the club's history when the club, the fans, the players, the team, everybody could not be more together? And you felt that in the stadium, and you felt that it was worth a point in many of those home games. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, we obviously when it came in March and we lost our momentum a bit. I mean, everybody lost their momentum when they stopped playing for 2.5, 3 months, whatever it was. But yeah, it affected us quite a bit, and as results showed. But I think we had 3 bad games, three home games where we did really well against Spurs, Chelsea, and Wolves. I mean, 3 of the top 6, 7 teams, and we stuffed them. And 3 in a row, 9 points. That was great. And then we ended the season without a win, and it was a shame. But I mean, a top 10 finish was where I predicted before the start of the season. I bet not many people did that, but I was cocksure that we were going to, the way we played, we were going to do that sort of thing. And we missed Jack Connell when when we came back. I mean, never mind his defending. His overlapping and his forward play, we missed that really bad. And Flecky was out, in and out, and we got a bit, we were a bit lacking here and there, and we weren't as together perhaps as we were. And
what? Yeah, so
I will get out of the starting blocks.
I will have missed it. But what was your tip for this season? Now I know it's 3 games and no goals and no points yet, but Sheffield United have a habit. I mean, the 2 promotion seasons under Chris Wilder, they started poorly in terms of points. So this is not unusual or to be despaired over. But what was your tip for this season? What did you think?
Well, with the other teams getting a bit used to how we play and that, I thought, well, if we can just, 14 or better, or even just survive, I don't know. This season, second season is perhaps always more difficult. So a lot of people say, but the trouble is we have got off to a bad start, and which is never good. And the games coming up on paper, they're difficult ones. But having said that, they were all difficult last season, and we coped great. We could have beat Man City, we could have beat Liverpool. We did well away with Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. All the top teams, and we gave it as good as we got. And it was perhaps just the lack of the goals here and there that stopped us getting a few points there. 6 points off of Liverpool, never got. We lost that, and we lost 6 points off of Man City. But I mean, looking at the start we've had this season, you could say 2 goals in the first 6 minutes against Wolves. We might as well run out 2-0 down, hadn't we? 6 minutes gone, we're 2-0 down, and after that we did quite well in that. The Villa game, we lose John Egan after not long, so we're down to 10 men. That didn't help, but and they're a team that are probably going to end up down the bottom of the league, in the bottom half, bottom third probably, Villa. So we've lost out on that, but and the home game we had against who was it?
Leeds.
Leeds. Oh dear.
Leeds.
We don't talk. No, for 20 minutes we weren't in it, and then all of a sudden we probably ended the game where we probably won on points. Really, we had better chances, much better chances. We created the biggest thing is that we created. That's been a bit lacking lately. Since the restart last season, and we created chances, and we're just not. Whether it's luck or unluck or whatever you want to call it, we just can't stick the ball in the net. But at least what pleased me was two things pleased me was the Berg's second half performance. I thought he was, that's what I'd like to see from him. He was picking it up and running 30, 40 yards with a ball, and that's not what he's been doing. He's sort of been laying it off and things like that. But he got a bit of room, and he used it very well. So I was very pleased for him that he had a good second half. And but overall, that game, I think we deserved at least a point. So we could be 4 or 5 points, 3 to 5 points we could have had.
Indeed. Right. Okay. Well, we'll talk about the striker search maybe a little bit later, and the tweaks that Chris Wilder will try and do, and what the prospects for these next run of games is. But you mentioned creativity then, so we won't keep everybody waiting too much longer. Let's go back to March of 1975. Again, I'm talking to the masses now, Tony, not to you, because I know you know all about this. Sheffield United 3, West Ham 2. It was just before I started full-time work on football. I was a journalist, a very young journalist, so I used to go to games all over the place, and I was on the cop at Bramall Lane, taking in this one, so I remember it very, very well. But I wonder if there's a forgotten goal for many people in that game, even those who were there. You're known, of course, for the quality goal by a quality player, and we're going to glory in that in a couple of minutes' time. But first, you got an earlier goal in that game. You actually got 2. And this clip that we'll watch now also offers a reminder of the great player that you played alongside, who made it or helped make it for you. Let's look at this.
Currie. Woodward. And connected on the near post. Currie, yes! Sheffield United have equalised within 2 minutes, and Currie got the final touch.
So there we are, the great Woody, Alan Woodward there. Not to be overlooked, Tony, that you, even though that was shall I say, a rare tap-in for you, you did set that move in motion and create it. What are your memories of that particular goal?
Yeah, well, like we've said, I that is part of the DVD, so I do see that one as well. So yeah, Woody, the greatest player I ever played with. What a player! Should have played for England when I played for England, and I think that would have been a good decision to make, because we had this great telepathy together, along with Len Badger on the right side, and but he was formidable, Woody, and what a goal scorer! I think he hit the post with a shot. Well, he hit the post with a shot, and I was up there. I don't know why I was so far. I mean, I couldn't get any further. I was 1 inch off the line, and it just come across the line, and I just tapped it in. And I saw Mervyn Day and all the other West Ham players putting their hands up, saying offside, offside, but it was given anyway. Could well have been offside.
Now it would have gone to VAR, and you might have been.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Which is a load of nonsense, isn't it? Do you not think? But yeah. That you didn't get that many tap-ins, but that's one of those goals we all look at it and say, "Well, I could have scored that."
I got another one, Alan. I've got another one. I think it was away to Spurs. It was in some terrible mud. I've got that on the DVD as well, but I can't remember who it was against. But it was a left-footed tap-in, exactly the same distance from the goal. It come across to me, and I think the keeper parried it, and I just was up there right on the line and just managed to dig it out of the mud and put it in. So
yeah, there we go. They all count. And this one,
do, yeah.
I mean, obviously the iconic commentary as well from John Motson, the quality goal from a quality player. When you see this clip on TV, when it gets clipped off, you tend just to see the culmination of it and your shimmying sort of run and the way you somehow conjure the ball into the corner of the net. But let's see the whole of it now, all of the build-up.
3 West Ham headers. And the ball now with Gould. As Currie was in the way. And Woodward kept it in and found Currie. Field and Kamak to the left. Still Currie. What about that? A quality goal by a quality player. 3-2 to Sheffield United, and Currie the scorer. His second of the match, and they don't come any better. He sized up the situation, he looked left and right. He went on, found the space for the shot, and placed it so sweetly past Day, who could do nothing about it.
What do you think when you see that, Tony? When you look at that back now, what do you think?
Well, I won the ball. Everybody thought I was just a ball player and a dribbler and whatever. But I could handle myself, and I weren't afraid to get stuck in. And which I did. It was a block tackle, and it flew straight to Woody on the halfway line. And I think he just kept it in play and give it straight to me back right on the halfway line, and then I just carry on. And everybody thinks, when they talk to me, what about that goal against West Ham? You beat everybody in there too. If you look, you look again. I don't beat anybody. I'm just running with the ball. They were too scared to tackle me, weren't they, Alan? I was going to go past. But you had to be careful of the little bits of mud, the divots, and everything. And the good part about it was that I kept control, and I was doing like a slalom. I think his name was Alan Locke. And the West Ham defender, I turned him inside out, and then I turned Mervyn Day inside out. He just stood there and went back on his heels because the left foot shot, I didn't catch it properly. I didn't as cleanly as I should have done, but it was still a good effort, and it just trickled, as it were, into the corner of the net. So. And John Motson made it famous, match of the day, and he made that comment. So, and I've seen him a few times and said, thank you very much for that. I said, which one of us made it? Did I make you or did you make me?
Yeah, I'm sure it's been a both, but without the goal, he couldn't have come out with that line. I mean, it was a teasing run. And I think 99 times out of 100, a player getting the ball onto either foot at the other edge of the area would just to try to blast it, wouldn't they? And somehow, what was in your head to simply pass it into the net like that?
Well, I thought, you run all this way, you're shattered, just get rid of it. So, no, I mean, I managed to get myself in the middle of the goal on the edge of the box, and I could see everybody wanting to close me down. So I thought, right, I'll get me shot in now. I mean, normally I'd try and put somebody in, but I suppose I was looking down at the ball more than noticing anybody else. And but I was on the edge of the box, and you didn't get many chances on the edge of the box. So I just decided to whack it and place it in the corner, which is what I did. But
look, it was just a fantastic memory, and it's also been great to highlight Alan Woodward as well. I mean, he scored the other goal in that game as well, in that 3-2. Victory over West Ham, and I'll never forget sort of squeezing out at the back of the Kop in the days when there was no social distancing then. Everybody was tightly packed. I remember us sort of squeezing back out of the ground and listening to an iconic record of the time. Well, it became associated with you, Limian Family Cooking. You can do magic. Seems to be your theme tune, that.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Yeah, it's been played a lot of times at a lot of the do's at Sheffield United, especially the ones in the last 4 or 5 years that have been in my honour, which has been, I've got to say, absolutely fantastic. The last, I don't know, getting voted 2008 first Hall of Famer, you were there that night, I think. First Hall of Famer in the Star and Garters Award.
Yeah.
And 2014 best Sheffield United player, and I've been awarded so many things, you know, and over the last 10 or 12 years, and it's just been phenomenal. And
well, it's been wonderful watching, and wonderful that you can still come on and talk about it as you do here and honour us quite regularly, and I'm really delighted for that. As I say, it's a 6th anniversary show. You were our first guest. You've not got off too lightly. You've got to come back after the break, Tony. We'll bring things up to date with current events. James Gregg will join us, and we'll talk in a bit more detail about the current football season and the Blades. Do rejoin us in a couple of minutes.